It was a Sunday afternoon when I first caught myself smiling for no reason, just staring at my phone screen. I had received a simple "hope your morning is good" message from Ethan, and somehow it felt like my whole day had bloomed open like spring. That should have been a sign, maybe even the first, but I didn't realize it then. Ethan and I had been friends for nearly 2 years. We met at a marketing seminar in Chicago, where he accidentally spilled coffee on my notebook and then spent the next hour apologizing and offering to buy me a new one. I never did get that new notebook, but I got him, and maybe eventually something more than just a friend. Back then, it was hard to know what love was supposed to feel like. Everyone made it sound like fireworks, heartbeats, and epic movie moments. But real love, the kind that grows in silence, in shared jokes, in late-night conversations, that was harder to recognize. And that's what I was caught in. I didn't even realize I was in love. I kept brushing it off, telling myself we were close because we talked a lot. He was just my favorite person to text. That was all. Right. But things started to shift. I began to notice little things, like how I'd wait to hear his opinions before making a decision, even on things as small as what dress to wear to a work dinner. How I'd screenshot silly memes just because I knew he'd laugh at them. How I'd start my day wondering if he'd messaged me, and end it rereading his texts from earlier. And slowly, doubt crept in. Was this friendship, or was I falling? One night, I called my best friend Madison. She always had a way of pulling the truth out of me. "I think something's wrong with me," I told her, curled up on my couch in my pajamas, voice low. She laughed. "You're in love with Ethan." "No, I'm not." "Okay, then answer this. Does your heart race when he calls you?" I didn't answer. "Do you miss him the moment he says goodnight?" Silence. "Do you think about what he might be doing even when you're out with other people?" "Maybe," I whispered. "That's not a maybe, Sarah. That's love. You just don't want to admit it." I sat there, hugging my knees to my chest, thinking about the last time Ethan hugged me. It was after my birthday dinner. He held me just a little longer than usual. I had felt it, the warmth, the hesitation, the something. My stomach had fluttered, and I told myself it was just the wine. The next few days, I found myself watching everything more closely. I noticed how his eyes lit up when he talked about his passions, how he always noticed the small things, like when I changed my nail color or wore a new perfume. He listened when no one else did. And the more I noticed, the more I wondered, was I falling for him, or had I already fallen? I did what any confused heart would do. I Googled it. How to know if I'm in love. The answers made me smile. You think about them constantly. You care about their happiness more than your own. You want them to succeed. You imagine a future with them. Check, 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 and check. But even then, something in me held back. What if I was confusing comfort with love? Familiarity with affection? That's when Ethan did something that shattered every doubt. It was late October, and I had caught the flu. I was home, feverish, cranky, and completely useless. Ethan found out through Madison and showed up at my apartment with soup, medicine, and a stack of my favorite magazines. He didn't ask to come in, he just did. He cleaned up my kitchen, made sure I had water by my bedside, and stayed with me until I fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up to find a note on my nightstand. "Feel better soon. I'm around if you need anything." Owie. That day, I didn't need Google to tell me what I already knew. I was in love. Fully, completely, achingly in love with the man who had always been there, just waiting for me to open my eyes. But here's the thing. Realizing you're in love is only half the story. The other half is figuring out what to do about it. Do you risk the friendship? Do you speak your heart? Or do you hide it, hoping it fades? I spent nights tossing and turning, wondering how to say something so big without breaking everything we had. Then came Thanksgiving. Ethan invited me to his family dinner, saying, "My mom's asking about you like you're already part of the family." He laughed when he said it, but my heart skipped a beat. I went. I met his parents, his younger sister, even his grandmother, who whispered, "You're very special to him, dear," while we were in the kitchen. My breath caught. What did she mean? After dinner, we stood outside on the porch. The night air was crisp, and my heart felt heavy. "Ethan," I said, my voice trembling, "do you ever wonder what we are?" He looked at me for a moment, silent. All the time. I blinked. You do. He stepped closer. I've been waiting for you to say something. I didn't want to push. But yeah, Sara. I think I've been in love with you for a long time. And that's when it happened, that moment you read about in stories. The world got quiet, and the only thing I could feel was his hand brushing mine, then holding it tightly. I love you, I said. I think I've been in love for a while, and I just didn't know how to tell. He smiled, leaning his forehead against mine. We're here now. That's all that matters. That night, under a sky filled with stars, I found the answer to the question that haunted me, how to find out that I'm in love. The answer wasn't in Google or in movies. It was in the way someone shows up for you, stays through the hard days, and holds your hand like it's the most natural thing in the world. If you're wondering whether you're in love, ask yourself this. Do you care more about their happiness than your pride? Do they bring peace, not just butterflies? Do they make you want to be better, not just look better? Love isn't just excitement, it's calm. It's safety. It's showing up. Love looks like him knowing I hate the sound of the alarm and gently waking me up with coffee instead. Love sounds like my laughter when he says something ridiculous just to see me smile. Love feels like his hoodie that I now wear too often, his scent lingering like a warm embrace. It's not always grand. Sometimes it's in the smallest things, brushing hair out of your eyes, sending you a song that reminds him of you, walking you home even when it's out of the way. Being in love is knowing that even when life gets hard, that person makes the load feel lighter. You don't doubt them because their presence is steady. You don't feel the need to pretend because they love you at your worst just as much as your best. Months later, Ethan and I are still figuring it out. There are days when we argue, days when we miscommunicate, but every night ends with honesty, with a kiss, with a shared promise. We're in this together. So, how do you find out you're in love? You don't just know. You feel. You see. You grow into it. You realize that love isn't always sudden. It's built piece by piece in kindness and connection. And when you finally admit it, the world shifts because nothing feels more right than saying I love you to someone who's been loving you all along.